Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Transformers Seige War for Cybertron Trilogy Optimus Prime from ThreeZero. Shout out to ThreeZero, shout out to Diamond for sending this over to me, letting me review it. For real, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. This Optimus Prime has been awesome. And it wasn't that I wasn't a ThreeZero fan. Actually, it's really difficult for me to kind of get my hands on this stuff. And I gotta say, after the Pat Labor, I've been looking to get stuff, and now having the Optimus Prime in hand, having the Blitzwing, I gotta say the effort that they put into this stuff is immaculate. Like, they really like making these kind of toys. You can tell there's a lot of effort and detail put into this, and I can't front, this Prime is no exception. I absolutely adore it. I love it. And it's crazy because I really didn't know where to start with this. Oh, forgot about my phone. Really didn't know where to start with this, and I really didn't know if it was one of those things that if I liked Transformers that don't really transform. Like, I know there's a place for everybody with that, and for me, I just didn't know how I was gonna feel after Blitzwing and Soundwave. And I watched the Netflix series, and I like the designs, but that doesn't mean I necessarily like the show. But this Prime kind of makes me feel a little bit more lenient towards the show now, because I really like this design and how it came out. But anyway, let's jump into our review of the figure. Let's jump into talking about what it's like. We're gonna move my main man Prime up. He has a hefty amount of diecast. It's one of those things where I really didn't know what I was getting into, because I thought, you know, it's not gonna be like a diecast figure or anything like that. I was completely wrong. This guy is heavy. Like, I don't even think I can tell you about the weight of this guy, but in hand you can feel it and know that there is a difference. So we have our look with our helmet. I have him looking down ever so briefly, and we just get a really nice look. Actually, I'm gonna try something a little different here. Actually, I'm going to sit down and put him on a rotating base, try something really nice with you guys, and so we're gonna see how it got look. So let's take the base out. Give me a second to set this guy. Now I have this guy on a rotating base so we can see what it looks like, and literally, like, this immaculate look is pretty crazy on this guy, because they have pretty much nailed the look of the War for Cybertron. It's one of those things where you see the scratches, the designs, the battle torn stuff. It's really one of those really good. It's not clean, but it's also not dirty either. It's a really nice look on this guy that I just can't quite say what it is, but it's just, it looks so real, it's ridiculous. And I really enjoy that kind of thing on this. I'm gonna take him off the base because I feel like it's taking too long. I try to do something new, and honestly, I'd rather just get up nitty gritty with you guys and show you guys just how cool this Prime is. You can even see the cracks right here in the chest plate. Now, you can add this kind of detail when you're not transforming a Transformer, right? Then we have our really nice articulation. We have our scratches here on the head. We can tilt sideways. We actually have a lot of room for more articulation. Our arms can lift outward, so we don't have any issue there whatsoever. As you can see here, we can even lift up just a tad bit further, which is even crazy because you don't always get this, because there's a lot of transforming mechanisms. Even our upper torso, which allows for very unique articulation by tilting side to side, we have a lot of articulation. We can move backwards, and we have a really nice ab crunch forward, like really nice. So this guy can literally pack a punch in terms of articulation already on the upper torso. We haven't even gotten anywhere to the lower parts. Now on here we have our back kibble, which is actually part of the design. It just flaps in up and down. You can take it off if you want, and when you get to the light up feature later, we're going to talk about that. Our waist does swivel side to side on top of having that really nice articulation. We have parts here in the front plate that actually fold out. This was going to help with your leg articulation. So these can fold outward and upward, right? These are really going to help when it comes to the legs, because we can actually drop down and go outward. See? So we can have that extra space there. That means putting our leg forward, even with all this die cast. Look at that. We have an excellent double joint here. That was so well hidden, you didn't even see the mechanism there. It looks really beautiful. We can rotate in, left and right. We can rotate a little bit forward, and we can rotate backwards. And there is still a toe pivot on Prime. So there's lots of room for articulation on this guy. That's just going to be outstanding. Now, I'm going to take a quick break, back it up, and then we're going to talk about more articulation and getting poses, and then we're going to talk about our light up feature. One of the things I always try to test out is going to be our articulation. Now, even with our bicep swivel that we have here and our double joint here in the arms, this is going to allow you to look really great with your weapon holding, as well as doing cool poses like this, so we can separate ourselves from what we're getting otherwise. Now, like I said, it's pretty crazy that you can kind of do this with a prime. Like, outside of MP44 and other non-transforming stuff, most people kind of don't want to do this because they're scared of breaking their really expensive toys. I gotta say, with this prime, it kind of encourages you to do that, and I really like the design of that. I really like that they go, hey, we want you to be able to play with your toys, even if it is a die-cast one. We want you to be able to go, hey, we want you to really sit down and play with this. There's even a small butterfly joint here that I'm noticing that allows you to go in and out. So just be careful with that because you don't want to push it too far. But this is about as far as you'll get. But as you can see, Prime looks utterly fantastic. I just love everything about this. And none of this I had to push to the limit or anything like that. It's pretty all visible, and it's included in the instructions, so it doesn't look too crazy for you, and it won't be too difficult. Even if we're going to go with poses like this, where we show Prime just getting a little bit further down. Let's back this up, and we're going to see if that ankle can get a little flatter by rotating our thigh, and it can get a little bit more, but not completely. But yeah, this is excellent. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things where this is a posing dream for people like me, especially for an Optimus Prime. I'm having a good time, and hopefully when you guys get yours, you will. But not the same subject, I do want to talk about the light up mechanism. Now, what's really cool is, now, with your Prime, I'm going to take mine out, but I want to show you the original back piece. What you do is you're going to release this back piece right here by gently wiggling it out. It should just wiggle out. Inside this piece will be a screw. It's hard to see now, but I've already taken out my screw, so mine's not in there. But this will allow you to lift this out and place batteries here, so we can talk about our light up function on Prime. Our Prime has a light up function, and that glows really well. Like, you can see this even with my bright light here. You can see just how well this lights up. So this is going to look fantastic on your Prime. The switch is right here. You could just nudge that over and turn it right back off, or you can turn it on. I think for the small size comparison I have with other robots, I think I'm going to leave it on so it can look pretty cool. But yes, even without the screw in to hold it together, mine's actually held in place really well. So shout out to ThreeZero for thinking ahead with that one. Now, I'm going to stand this guy back up. We're going to talk about the accessories. I'm actually going to leave him in the background so you guys can just see what's going on. And Prime actually comes with a nice slew of stuff. You can leave your back kibble over there. First up, I want to go over the Energon Axe. So he actually gets a really nice Autobot Energon Axe. It is double-sided, so it is no, again, but without the transform mechanism, you don't have to make things one-sided with him. Just really nice Energon Axe. I would have liked this to be a different color, but if we're getting really classic battle axe style, instead of painting this orange, I don't mind the black, but I would have preferred the orange classic look, or at least a red axe with some clear design. I'm really hoping that comes with the repaint one, but yeah, this was still a nice idea. You will also get an Energon shield. This actually has a plug-in here for you to plug the Energon shield right here on the arm, so that way you can protect yourself. Energon shield plugs in right there, and it holds really well. Even as I rotate it around, you can still rotate it up and down and around. So having your shield should not be an issue, right? Then we have Optimus's iconic ion blaster. You know they were not gonna not give this to him, so you know they made sure they did. I don't know why it's not focusing. That's really weird. Let's move you out of the way, Prime. Maybe you're causing a little bit of ruckus. There we go. See, we have Prime's Ion Blaster. They don't have to shorten it. It's its proper length. And Optimus can hold it really well. As you'll know, you'll get dedicated hands for that. So let's go over those very quickly. We have our Ion Blaster hands. Obviously for when you hold the blaster. Let's pop that in there so you guys can see. And the hands are soft, so you can just mold it in as you see please. Right? You're going to get your axe holding hands. Very important for when you want to axe somebody. Maybe a question. Sorry, that's a New York thing. Then we will have our normal relaxed hands. And then we will have our action hands. Our Megatron, no. These hands. Obviously, you can't catch them. But yeah. This Prime has been dope. It's been fun. But last but not least, we're going to take a time and we're going to jump into the size comparison. So let's get to it. Yo, let me tell you how I just found this out. Because I cursed off screen because I was like, hey, let me cut the light on earlier in the video. So before we jump into size comparison, I definitely cursed off screen because I went like this, right? I kid you not. I went, you know what? I wanted to plug this in on top for the size comparison. Right before I jumped into it to grab stuff, I went like this and it lit up and I went, holy, you already know how the rest goes. But the point is, this lights up in the chest. Did not know that was a feature there. That was a pleasant surprise. For real. This is dope. That is how you make a really cool Optimus Prime, and you offer something that doesn't transform, but you have the light feature, and this was amazing. It was a pleasant surprise, for real. But yeah, now on to size comparison, so let's get to it. Alright, the size comparison. I think that we should do some Masterpiece stuff, and I also have some Studio Series. I think I have a few of them, so let's try those. First things first, let's do MP10 mold versus our ThreeZero. And I have Nemesis Prime here. And as you can see, he's a little bit bigger than what MP10 would be. And I'm actually okay with that. Not too big, not too small. Kind of fits in really well. Then we have MP Megatron. I think if I wanted to do some battle stuff, I think these two would fit really well. I figured Megatron should be a little bigger. But since this is not even in the same particular scale with each other, they work really well for battle shots, but they would also look good on the shelf together. So that's pretty cool that I can have that kind of dynamic, right? Let's remove these guys, right? Next thing up, let's do Sunstreaker, a smaller bot, and then here we have main man B. So yeah, as you can see, I think this works a lot better wise than the other scale. Prime being bigger than these guys, it'll look really good for a nice robot shelf. So let's move these guys out of the way. If we're talking about human, 6-inch scale stuff would not look too good. So let's try a Black Series and a Mezco. As you can see, these guys shouldn't be this close to Prime, right? But if we did some 3 1/4 inch stuff, I have some Joy Toy stuff with a custom Ichigo head. I think this, for the human wise, looks a lot better scale wise with Prime. So that would work a lot better. Like I said, I don't have many things to compare. And just for fun, because I'm also going to review this, here is a ThreeZero Ava, which is equally as fun next to the Prime. There's not much I can say about this Prime that I have serious gripes with. But then again, I am a casual Transformers guy. I'm pretty sure other people will have other opinions of it. But I gotta say, in terms of presentation, in terms of the fun factor that I have from strictly the articulation alone, this is an instant cop for me. This Prime is awesome. Not to minus the lights and sound, well, not sound, sorry. The light effect that we got, which completely surprised me and was a holy, moment. But, yeah. So, thank you to Diamond. Thank you to ThreeZero. I hope you guys enjoy the photos at the end. Thank you always for watching. And as always, please, be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.